For 2 years, I've exercised. I've exercised and I've exercised. I've spent countless hours in the gym, running outdoors, on a rowing machine, stepper. I hate the stepper, but it's part of what I got to do. I've spent 2 years exercising, trying to lose weight, trying to beat my blood pressure under control. And I did. I did. For a while, I did. I did beat my blood pressure down. Um, got it down from 130s, like mid 130s, over about uh, over about 90, and I got it down to like 100 over 65 sometimes. All the way up to like 117 over about 80, right in there. I did it. There were periods of weeks where my blood pressure was always in the normal range. But then, about a year in exercising, it crept back up and it never went back down. Never. And so, just about a month ago or so, I said, screw it, I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta do it. I listened to all the online medical people. You listen to the health video makers. You listen to Peter Attia, and they say things like blood pressure is completely treatable using modern medicine, low risk of side effects. Never screw around with your blood pressure. Just go and get medicine. And before, I had asked my doctor about it, and he had said, you're right on the edge, or you've got it under control right now. We really don't treat people. Well, my blood pressure had really increased, and it was never normal. It was always over 130, over 80. And so I went back to the doctor, and I said, I would really like to get my blood pressure down. And he said, okay, take one pill. One pill, same time of day, every day, and monitor your blood pressure. That was about a month ago. I am now sitting here and I have not taken a blood pressure reading that was high in a month, or in about 2.5 weeks now. 2.5 weeks. It took about a week and a half for it to happen. But when it went down, it went down. And so Losartan, potassium tablets. This is it. This pill, once a day, and my blood pressure went down. I thought that by exercising and by controlling my diet and losing over 20 pounds, doing all this work, I could get myself to not have to take maintenance medicines. And there was just no way around it. It is what it is. I have age related, I'm 49. I have age related high blood pressure, and it runs in my family, and it's what it is. And I started taking this little pill once a day, and my blood pressure came under control. It's like a miracle. And one of the craziest things is I was really stressed out about this. Really stressed out. Like, I tried so hard to keep my blood pressure down that I started, and I realized this, that I started creating high blood pressure because I was stressing out about how high my blood pressure was. And that it would go down for a few days and then it would go back up. And that I could never get it down. And eventually it crept up and up and up and up, and it never went back down to normal. And I was always exercising. I was always doing the right things. I was counting calories. I was doing it all. And I just couldn't get it back down. And here we are. One little pill once a day. Anyway, this is a PSA. This is just a something I wanted to put out there. Once I accepted that I needed to go and get medicine and I needed to just deal with it, and that no amount of exercise, no amount of diet control, no amount of eliminating caffeine, no amount of anything was going to get my blood pressure down. And when I got one little pill once a day, and my blood pressure is normal. Doctor said you may need 2 of them a day. You may need to go to different medicines. You may need to do other things. This worked for me. But, I'm kind of borderline. I was, low 130s to low 140s for the systolic, to mid 140s for the systolic, which I know it gets a little higher and lower. But when I was relaxed, somewhere between that 131 to 138 range. And I know that's the number they say don't pay attention to. The low end was somewhere between 78 and 89 or 90 a lot of the time. It was just too high. And it was weird because exercise, I had truly beaten it down. I had exercised, I had got on a routine, and my blood pressure went down by like 15 points by changing my lifestyle, by losing a bunch of weight or some weight, a lot is relative, and by exercising and getting a lot of cardiovascular exercise in, but it just didn't fix it over the long term. Anyway, here we go. If you have high blood pressure, or if you haven't checked your high blood pressure, it's super easy to check. Get a blood pressure cuff, especially if you're aging. Check your blood pressure and see whether or not it's high. And if you go to the doctor and they say, oh, it's kind of high, pay attention to it. Because do you know what? One little pill knocked mine right down, and I haven't noticed a single side effect at all. None. My blood pressure just went down after a couple weeks. And now it just stays down. Now I take my blood pressure, and it's always in the normal range. It's always right in the, typical normal range. It's it's somewhere between 107 over 70 to 117 over 77 or 78 or something. But it's right in the right range, and maybe I'll have to adjust medicine over time. But, the health influencers and scientists were right. This day and time, if you have high blood pressure, get it treated. Oh, for those who have never thought about high blood pressure, the reason why you get it treated is because of the health effects. It is stressful on your cardiovascular system. It's stressful on your body. Just think about your heart is pumping somewhere between 50 and 100 times a second all day, every single day. And that blood pressure is going up and down and up and down and up and down. And as it goes throughout the day and your blood pressure is cycling, and I've always heard that diastolic, the lower number, is actually the one you care about, right? Whenever your system is not under pressure, where is your blood pressure? That's the one that really truly matters. And I've always had I've been better on that side than the other side historically. But that adds up. That adds up over thousands of heartbeats a day. Hundreds of thousands over a month, or millions over a year. It adds up, and it's stressful on your organs. It can cause kidney damage. It can cause all sorts of problems for you. And we now have effective medicine. So there you go. I just wanted to post this because I am shocked at how effective this is. And the only drugs I've ever had that were even similarly effective were my steroid-based asthma medicines. Those are the only other ones where I've been like, holy cow, I went from having asthma to not having asthma. And it was absolutely crazy. And then I'd go off the steroid-based asthma medicines, and then all of a sudden my asthma would come back a week later. Anyway, there you go. Blood pressure, health. It's crazy. Have a good one.